Cross Winter Track.
I'm Audrey Crocco, and my initial question is, knowing that track is a highly individualized sport, how do you keep unity within the team, and do you value unity?
So yeah, track is a really individual sport, as you said, but I definitely think that unity is still present in the team. Like, I always support my teammates, and my teammates constantly support me. We always like work towards the same goal. We always run together in practice. We're always pushing each other to be better constantly, and unity is still important to me, and I still think it's important to the team. And I definitely think that we're all about supporting each other. And there's competitiveness with each other, but that only pushes you to be a better runner and run faster, which is the ultimate goal.
I'm Marshall Molina, and I'd like to ask you guys, could you guys tell me what bonding looks like with your team, if you guys have any?
There's lots of bonding in winter track, especially spring as well. But I don't know, we all kind of just like come together as a team. Again, practice always is at 3, and we all are like kind of like in our groups, but like we're always talking, and like we talk a lot before practice starts. And I don't know, we're all very friendly with each other. We mostly all know each other. It's a really fun time too. It's very enjoyable. I mean, even if you're not the best at running, no one judges you, and you can run at your own pace. So.
Okay. What are some of your personal goals you're looking to beat this year?
Well, for me, I'm hoping that I can make it back to MOCs again. Maybe hopefully take a 4x4 with me as well. And I'm hoping that we get a lot of points at NJAX as well. I know maybe for...
So I play soccer, and I'm only on JV as a sophomore, but I'm a forward, and I don't mind running. It's probably not my favorite because I don't do it in my own time, but I'm trying to get faster for soccer, and I believe that like winter track is a great sport to do, especially when you meet a lot of other people that you don't even know, and you become so much closer with like the community and the school, and it just helps you with other things as well to stay in shape.
Are there any pre-game rituals that help raise team morale that you guys like to go about?
I know that for like the distance girls, and I think the distance boys as well, we do a cheer, and then we always huddle up, and we just always just like talk before a race, and we just like make sure that everyone's like calm and comfortable, and then as well as just like warming up, we always warm up with drills, and then just doing a couple strides before your race, and just always feeling nice and loose, and honestly hydration and eating, and yeah, just really being in the race mindset before your race, I think, is definitely important.
Definitely.
What motivated you to join track?
I think what motivated me to do track is my older sister. She already graduated high school, but she did winter track, and she absolutely loved it. I mean, all the coaches love her. They all know her, and they know me really well now. I joined sprints because, I'm really fast, I believe. But Rory actually got me to do shot put last year, and I enjoy it pretty well, even though I'm not the best throw. But it was really fun, and I got a few girls to join as well for shot put, which is great because Rory said that we needed a lot of girls. But I think that like the sprints, and then you get yourself into other things by just trying to see if you like it or not. And even if you don't like it, or you're not good or the best at it, you don't even have to do it. So.
Does anyone else want to answer that question?
Oh, you can.
Sure. I started track mostly because of my mom. My mom, she was an alumni here, and she also had a lot of records. Like my whole family was all into track, and that's another thing. Like track is like a huge community. Like everyone will always like come back and try and support. So it's a really fun sport to do.
Cool. Do you guys have any thoughts or opinions on competing on home turf rather than away games?
For sprints, we usually just have the meets at Drew. There weren't really any away meets or anything. And I think once we got comfortable with like the Drew meet, especially because I was a freshman last year, so I was very new to it. But once you get through like your first meet at like a place you're like comfortable with, then I think you just get like used to it and you get more comfortable as you go and all.
Yeah, I'd say our only really away meet would have been like Ocean Breeze, but we only really ran there once. It was like down in where was it, like Newark or like Jersey Sip, something like that. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it's like Drew, and so like I don't know, like I've gotten used to running there for winter, and I think that we're all pretty comfortable now. And I would call it our home turf, I guess.
One more question for the girls, and then we'll move on to the boys. If we have it.
Yes. So this question's for Ella. Ella, you held the Madison track records for the 55, 100, 200, and 400 for the women's races as a sophomore. What are your current goals for this season?
I guess this season would just to keep those records, always get faster. And I'm hoping that my times can get to the maybe D1 level, or at least get me into a good D2 school. So, yeah, those are the goals.
Thank you, ladies. Last session of the day, we have men's winter track.
Again, I'm Audrey Crocco, and knowing that track is a highly individualized sport, how do you keep unity within the team, and do you value unity?
It's definitely something that's really important to us. We train together every day except Sundays, so I think it's a very difficult sport, so sticking with each other and encouraging each other through the difficult days, the difficult workouts, is how we kind of build unity. And then on those race days, we're always encouraging each other, so it's definitely, it makes a difference, for sure.
I can't speak much to how it is for the runners, but for shot put, even when we are competing, it's very individual, so trying to create a sense of unity among the shot put team is very important to me. Like last year, I was our lone shot putter, so my first job was to recruit a bunch of people. Now we have something like 8 or 9 shot putters, and we're all pretty friendly. It's a lot of fun when we're warming up or training, so unity is definitely important, especially within a very individualized sport.
Okay. Could you guys tell me what your team bonding looks like, if you guys have any recurring ideas about that?
Team bonding is kind of difficult in an individual sport, but I think that we just try and treat each other with respect, and we joke around, and the fact that we're training together almost every day kind of helps with that. It comes naturally.
Coach Tanner for shot put does a really good job of team bonding, because like we do volleyball with a 10-pound medicine ball. We play lots of just games, like even lifting together in the weight room, just having someone else spot you sort of like helps solidify whatever bond that you have. And a lot of the stuff that we do, even though it is very individualized in competition, we do together, which is nice.
I think that even though there's like a divide in track between like distance, sprinting, jumping, throwing, there's so many different events, I think that our team does a good job of like encouraging each other and like keeping together even during practice. So I think that also attributes to the bonding.
Yeah, a bond naturally arises between everybody on the team, given that we all share this experience of putting such a monumental amount of effort forth every day, given the intensity of the training, whether you're a sprinter, a distance runner, or a thrower, and this. It sounds bad, but the shared pain definitely naturally brings people together in a strange way.
This question's for Nathan. What are some of your personal goals you're looking to beat this year, or looking to go for?
For me, since I'm coming back from an injury, I broke my collarbone in September. My goal isn't really to break any records for the winter track season. I'm mainly just trying to get as strong as I can for spring track and trying to excel there. I'd say my only time-based goal would be to try to do better than I did last year, but even that, I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to do that, but I'm going to do everything that I can to try to beat that goal.
Marshall Molina, seeing how certain track stars have graduated since last season, do you guys feel like it's difficult or like it's a struggle to catch up to your last wins?
I mean, it's always difficult to live up to the hype of people that have graduated, but you just kind of have to remember them and their legacy and what they added to the program, keep their mentality in mind, and try and inspire the younger people to follow that same path. I mean, a couple of us are seniors here, and we know that like we've had some real talent pass through our program, so just trying to live up to that is kind of, I don't know, I can't speak for anyone else, but it motivates me for sure.
And again, is there any pre-game rituals you have to raise the morale of the team?
I think that a lot of the rituals and like superstitions are individual. I know on the sprint side we all have this like pre-race method where we'll jump around or do some random things as some sort of superstition that'll help us warm up right before our race. But mostly, I mean, it's very individual. We just kind of have to stay in the right mindset and keep each other focused.
Can't speak to any rituals per se, but something that I always like to do is try to help people keep everything in context. People tend to put an enormous amount of pressure on themselves, and enjoying the sport for what it is and enjoying the spectacle of the experience is something that can naturally alleviate pressure. And I always try to encourage people to understand that and to understand that their self-worth is not based on their performance, and this would ideally allow them to run a bit more free and just enjoy the experience for what it is and move on regardless of the result.
For shot put, we usually go to the gym before we throw because you got to get the blood flowing, and then afterwards we don't usually all throw in the same group because some are better than others, but we all hang out around where they will be throwing and hype each other up as we're going.
I wouldn't say there's anything like specific or like structural, but I know the fact that people are like there in the meet, like cheering for each other, and you know that your teammates are there watching you, like watching you compete. I think that helps, and it's not really a ritual, but it helps to help you run better.
Time for one last question.
This question is for the distance runners, which consist of Clotilde and Hendrik. What traits do you guys say that Mr. Monaco helped guide you guys in your season?
Yeah, Mr. Monaco has always done a great job of creating a sense of mutual respect amongst all of the distance runners. It's a very time-consuming it's a very time-consuming sport. It requires enormous discipline over a long period of time, and it requires a patience which is endemic to some people, but also needs to be taught. And Mr. Monaco prioritizes teaching patience and enjoying the experience, as I referenced before. Trying to help kids to understand the importance of maintaining, a sense of diligence and developing that diligence through the work that we do, which often the results of which often manifest themselves over the course of the entire season, as opposed to just like a week or two.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, boys. We're going to grab your pictures. Thanks for coming to today.